Hi, dear students. In last class, we discussed about meaning of economics, also parts of economics, and also we discussed about micro and macroeconomics, meaning of micro and macroeconomics, and the differences between micro and macroeconomics. Yesterday we discussed about meaning of economics. Meaning of economics, that is, economics is a social science. Economics is a social science which studies day-to-day economic activities of human life. Economics is a social science which studies the day-to-day economic activities of human life. And also we discussed the economics is derived from two Greek words, namely ecos and nomos. Economics is derived from two Greek words, namely ecos and nomos. Ecos means a house, nomos means management. So totally we can say like that economics is an art of household management. Economics is an art of household management. So that was the economics meaning. And also we discussed parts of economics, that are otherwise branches of economics. Branches of economics means the subject matter of economics. The subject matter of economics to understand easily, to study more. Professor Ragnar Frisch, in the time of 1920, he has divided the economics into two parts. Which one? One is microeconomics, another one is macroeconomics. The subject matter of economics has been divided into two parts. One is microeconomics and another one is macroeconomics, divided by Professor Ragnar Frisch in 1920. So micro means small. In name only it is there. Micro means small. Macro means large. So micro means, so it is studies only small parts of an economy. That means individual behavior of an economy. That means always it can study only a producer, a consumer, a firm, particular commodity, individual wages, individual income, individual saving, individual demand, individual supply. So like this only it can study. Which one? Microeconomics. So microeconomics deals with the analysis of small units of the economy. Always it studies small parts of an economy. As macroeconomics deals with the aggregates of economy. Macro means large. Macro means large. So which studies aggregates of the economy. That means macro can study economy as a whole. Economy as a whole, not an individual units. Which one? Macroeconomics studies the large parts of an economy. That's why it is studies like economy as a whole. But microeconomics studies only parts of an economy. Microeconomics studies parts of an economy. Macroeconomic studies large parts, like large parts. Microeconomics studies small parts of an economy. Macroeconomics studies large parts of an economy. So macroeconomics deals with the aggregates. Aggregates means total, entire. That means microeconomics studies single tree in a forest. But macroeconomics studies entire forest. So microeconomics give partial picture, and macroeconomics gives complete or clear picture. So macroeconomics deals with the aggregates. Aggregates means like it always studies national income. That means value of all goods, value of all final goods and services. Value of all final goods and services like produced in the country. That is GDP, NNP, NNP, GDP. Like this also it can study. Which one? Macroeconomics studies the national income. Macroeconomics studies the national income, gross domestic product, net national product, okay, net domestic product. Like this it can study. Also it can study national output. Output means product. As aggregate investment, total investment in the country, aggregate consumption, like how much quantity goods and services consumed by the people, that is aggregate consumption. Aggregate savings, how much the people are saving in the country. And aggregate demand, how much demand is increasing and decreasing for goods and services in the country. Everything it can study total, not an individual, total. As like as aggregate supply, general employment level, how much employment rate is there, whether increasing or decreasing. So general price level means whether goods and services, price of goods and services increasing or decreasing, like interest rate, wage level, everything the macroeconomics can be discussed. In the microeconomics you can study only small parts of an economy. Macroeconomic studies large parts of an economy. So macroeconomics especially concerned with problem of unemployment, problem of economic fluctuation. I said economic fluctuation means sometimes growth rate, development rate, growth rate will be increase. Sometimes the economic growth rate, the development rate will be decrease. So that is called as inflation, like fluctuation. And also we discussed, like explained yesterday, inflation. Value of goods and service, value of money will be decrease. Price of goods and services increase. That is called only inflation. Also deflation. Value of money will be increase. Price of goods and services decrease. Value of money will be increase. Price of goods and services decrease. That is called deflation. Inflation means value of money will be decrease. Value of money will be decrease and prices of goods and services increase. That is called only inflation. And also international trade. Like this, macroeconomics especially gives importance to inflation and unemployment. Okay, this is macroeconomics. Okay, and also we discussed differences between micro and macroeconomics. So under the differences between micro and macroeconomics, as you know that microeconomics studies behavior of individual economic units. Behavior of individual economic units, that is such as a firm, an industry, household, like this. And macroeconomic studies large parts of an economy, that is aggregate demand, aggregate supply, general price level, national income, national output, like this also macroeconomics can study. And microeconomics studies the individual parts of economy for the purpose of intensive study. Intensive study means detailed study, not a depth, not a deep, detailed study. And macroeconomic studies the aggregates of the economy, that is lumps of the individual units, lumps of the individual units together into big. Which one? Microeconomics studies the intensive study, like individual parts it can study only detailed study. But macroeconomics, lumps of the individual units together, lumps of the individual units together into big lump for the purpose of brief study. Which one? Macroeconomics, lumps of the individual units together, lumps of the individual units together into big lumps for the purpose of brief study. That's why macroeconomics is brief study, microeconomics is intensive study. And microeconomics studies only individual parts of an economy. Macroeconomic studies entire, like economy as a whole. As microeconomics only studies small parts of an economy, like part by part. It can study part by part, like an individual units. That's why it is called as slicing method. Which one? Microeconomics studies the economic activities about economy part by part. It can make like slicing, like it can study only part by part. That's why it is called as slicing method. Microeconomics is called as slicing method. And macroeconomics studying aggregate, it can be like together. It's a lumps up of individual units together, lumps up of individual units together. That's why it is called as lumping method. Microeconomics is slicing method, macroeconomics is lumping method. And in the microeconomics, each individual economic agent thinks about its own interest and welfare. Each in the under the microeconomics, each individual economic agent thinks about its own interest and welfare. That means, for example, a consumer, under the microeconomics, a consumer tries to get maximum satisfaction at a lesser price or lower price. That means always is thinking like that, less price and more satisfaction. Less price, more satisfaction. That means should purchase goods and services at lesser price and he should be get more satisfaction. About always he thinks about his own welfare. He is thinking only about his own welfare. And also a producer thinks under the microeconomics, a producer tries to get maximum profit at minimum cost. The cost of production should be less, the profit should be more according to a producer under the microeconomics. A consumer thinks about his own welfare. That means get always he wants to get more or maximum satisfaction. Maximum satisfaction at less price. Producer thinks like that, more profit or maximum profit at less cost of production. Less cost of production. So like this, under the microeconomics, each individual economic agent thinks about its own interest and welfare. They think themselves only under the microeconomics. But macroeconomics, under the macroeconomics, the economic agents, the macroeconomic agents, they does not think about themselves. The macroeconomic agents, they does not think about themselves. They are always thinking about get maximum welfare of a country. Their main aim is increase the welfare of the country. Increase the welfare of the country. Welfare means providing all the basic facilities to the people. The people should be enjoying their benefits. Like this, the macroeconomics thinks about country's welfare. The macroeconomics thinks about country's welfare. For this sake only, the macroeconomic agents, they are state authority. It is called government. Government only providing all goods and services. Government only providing all the benefits to the poor people, all the people. So that's why macroeconomics does not think about own welfare. Macroeconomic agents thinks about country's welfare, about country, how to develop the country, how to provide goods and services, how to increase the welfare of the people, how to increase the wealth of the nation. Like this only macroeconomic agents thinks. So macroeconomic decision makers are government. It is also called as a state authority. And also to provide financial help, Reserve Bank of India. In a country, to provide financial help, there is another economic agent, that is Reserve Bank of India, RBI. And to control the unnecessary financial activities, there is another one macroeconomic agent, that is SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India. Securities and Exchange Board of India. So like this, always they are thinking about economic welfare of the country. But microeconomics thinks only individual welfare. Otherwise, they think only own interest and welfare. But microeconomics thinks about the welfare of a nation. That's why microeconomics called as partial equilibrium, macroeconomics called as general equilibrium, because macroeconomics thinks about general price level, general employment. But microeconomic studies individual producer, individual consumer, individual firm. Like this only it can study. So micro means small, macro means large. Okay, up to this only we discussed in last class. Now we are going to discuss about positive and normative economics. Positive and normative economics. We know only economics. Now divided into micro and macro. Then how it comes positive and normative economics? So positive and normative economics, according to few economists, economics sometimes it is working as a positive, sometimes it is working as a normative. So let me see the meaning of positive economics. Just let us discuss what is the meaning of positive economics and what is the meaning of normative economics. First one is positive economics. So positive economics means positive economics deals with the scientific explanation. Scientific explanation means, what is the meaning of scientific explanation? Scientific explanation means, so as it is, there is no changes. There is no changes. So positive economics, according to few economists, economics is a positive economics. Economics is a positive economics. So according to few economists, economics is a positive economics. So that means positive economics deals with the scientific explanation. Scientific explanation. Scientific explanation means, so what is there? The picture. There is no changes. How it is, that like that only it can explain. What is there, the picture, like that only it can explain. It cannot give any suggestions. Which one? Positive economics cannot give any suggestions, and it cannot give any remedies, and it cannot give guidelines also. Should we do like this, should not be do like this? It cannot, it can't tell anything. Which one? Positive economics. Positive economics deals with scientific explanation of working of the economy, how the economy is working. That's it. Should be like this, should not be like this. It cannot give any guidelines, it cannot give any remedies, and it cannot give any solution. It can explain only what happened, what is going on. What happened, what is going on. For example, still India is a developing country. Why? Because of population explosion, unemployment, poverty, inflation, deflation, like this. Because of that, the effect is still India is developing. Simple. What were the effects? Like what were the causes? What are the effects? So positive economics deals with the scientific explanation. Scientific explanation means what is there as it is, no changes. What happened, what is going on. It cannot think about tomorrow. It cannot think about tomorrow. So what will happen tomorrow? It cannot, it does not think. It thinks only what happened yesterday, what is going on. Means what happened, why still India is a developing country. Just information. India still a developing country because of population explosion, poverty, unemployment, like this only. It can explain like this, but it cannot give any remedies why it is happening. It does not think. It concerned with how the economy performs the basic functions. So it concerned only how the economy working, how the economy working, like basic functions, also called as basic problems. We can discuss in next class. That is basic functions is nothing but basic problems. In the economy there are very important three problems: what to produce, how to produce, whom to produce. One is what to produce, another one is whom to, like how to produce, third one is whom to produce. See, these are all called economic problems. See, positive economics only concerned with the how the economy performs. It does not give any guidelines. Should be do like this, should not be do like this. It cannot give any guidelines, any remedies, any like guidelines. It cannot give any guidelines. So it just explanation only. It can explain only like how the economy performs, how the country takes decisions, how the economy takes decisions, like what to produce, how to produce, whom to produce. Very important three problems. It is also called as central problems of an economy or basic problems of an economy. So how they are thinking, how they are taking decisions. See, it explains how the economy takes decisions about consumption, like how much should be consuming goods and services, how much how much quantity the goods should be produced, and how to exchange goods and services. About this only it can explain. How the economy performs, like it cannot give any guidelines, like do like this, don't do like this. It cannot tell like that. It can explain only how the economy perform. That's it. So that's why the positive economics, the study of what was and what is, the study of what was and what is, what happened yesterday, what is going on today, what happened yesterday, what is going on today, like that much only it can explain. There is no any explanation for further, like what will going to happen about future. So it can only explain what was, what is. Simple. Positive economics explains or studies only what was and what is, what happened yesterday, what is today, what is going on today. That's it, under the given set of circumstances. So what happened, what is the present situation, what happened, what is the present situations. So why, India is a still developing country. That is what is. India is still developing country. What is, that is present situation. Why? Because of population explosion, unemployment, poverty, like lack of resources, lack of science and technology, like this only. So that was what happened. What is present situation? So explained by the positive economics. According to few economists, economics is a positive economics. According to few, economics is a normative economics. So that's why we are discussing. So positive economics explains only how the economy takes decision, how the economy performs, how the economy work. Like that only it can explain the study of what was, what is, what happened, and what is the present situation. So under the given set of circumstances, this is called as positive economics. Very important. The study of what was and what is under the given set of circumstances is called positive economics. So it explains only cause and effect, causes and effects. It explains causes and effects relationship of economic variables. Economic variables means which can vary, which can change from person to person, time to time, place to place. That is called as variables. Here economic variables. Economic variables means in the economy so many things are vary from time to time, person to person, place to place. For example, income is same for all? No. As output is producing, country producing same? No. Employment is it same for all? No. Fewer employees and fewer unemployed. Like that, always economic variables like which can change from person to person, place to place, time to time. So these about these variables, it explains only cause and effect. What happened? Why? What was the reason? And what is the present situation? Simple. The cause is like effect is India developing country. Why? What are the causes? Population explosion, poverty, unemployment, lack of resources, lack of science and technology. Like this only. This is cause. This is effect. It explains only what happened and what is the present situation. But it cannot or it does not think or it does not give any information about further or future. It explains only what about yesterday, what is today. That's it. So that's why the study of what was, what is under the given set of circumstances is called positive economics. It explains the causes and effects. Simple. Causes and effects relationship of economic variables. So in positive economics we study different issues and problems. Different issues and problems arising out of scarcity of resources. This is very important. In positive economics we study different issues and problems. Why problems arising? Because of scarcity of resources. Scarcity means some scarcity also pronounced like scarcity. So it is scarcity of resources. Scarcity means lack, shortage, less. Okay, no availability. So scarcity of resources. Resources are less. Because of less resources only, problem of choice will be arise. Problem of choice will be arise. That is very important. In positive economics we study different issues and problems. Why it is arising? Because of scarcity of resources. Scarcity means lack of resource, lack of. Scarcity means lack of. Scarcity of resources means lack of resources or less resources. There is no availability of resources. So using the limited resources we should produce goods and services. That is only we can understand by the study of or from the study of economics. So are you clear? Positive economics deals with the scientific explanation. So what we are putting, so that is only we can get. There is no changes. Okay, there is no expectation. What happened? What is present going on? Simple. Past, present. It can explain only past, present, not about future. Okay, it explains only what happened yesterday, what is the position present situation. That's it. Cause and effects. Simple. Cause and effects. Today the people are under the lockdown. That is effect. Why? Because of corona, COVID-19. Simple. It explains only cause and effects. The people now, all people are under the lockdown situation. Why? Because of COVID-19. So simple. It can explain that much only. It cannot give it cannot give any suggestion like that should do like this, should not like this. It cannot give any guidelines. It can explain only what happened, what is the present situation. Like Positive economics gives information like cause and effects. So it studies what was, what is under the given set of circumstances. So in positive economics we study different issues and problems arising out of scarcity of resources. Scarcity means less, lack of. So in our country, you know that very well, human wants are unlimited. Human wants are unlimited, resources are limited. You know very well this. So human wants are unlimited, resources are limited. So in this situation, how to utilize the goods and services, that is we can understand by the study of economics. So here positive, are you clear? Positive economics deals with scientific explanation. There is no any expectation, there is no imagination. So like this should be happen like this. No, nothing. It can explain only what happened yesterday, like what is present situation, what happened, what is the present situation. I said cause and effects, what was and what is. This is called positive economics. Next is normative economics. So what is the meaning of normative economics? According to few economists, economics is a positive economics, and according to few economics, economics is a normative economics. So here the meaning of normative economics: positive economics only explains what was, what is. That's it. Now normative economics studies what ought to be. What ought to be, what ought to be should be like this, should do like this, should go this way. If you do like this, you will get this type of solution or a problem. But positive economics cannot give any solutions, any suggestions. But normative economics, it studies what ought to be. Normative economics studies what ought to be. That means it concerned with how the basic functions should be performed. Should be like this, should do like this. To development of the country, like which type of technology we should adopt, which type of method we should adopt, what purpose to development of the country. So it gives the suggestions, it explains the methods, it can explain the techniques. Which one? Normative economics. See, it studies what ought to be, what should do, right? It is concerned with how the basic functions should be performed. Basic functions should be performed. Okay, it is not only observing, it is not only like collecting the information. My like positive economics only collecting the information, but normative economics not only collecting the information, it is giving the order, should do like this, should be performed like this. If you do like this, you will get good success. Like that only it can give the suggestion, it can give the like judgment. Which one? Normative economics concerned with how the basic functions like, that is what to produce, how to produce, whom to produce. It is also called as a basic economic problems, central economic problems also you can call. Which one? What to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. About this should be do like this only. Which one gives suggestion? By the normative economics. So normative economics describe what should be done and what should not be done. Normative economics describes, it can explains what should be done, what should not be done. Okay, and what is good or what is bad for human beings. It can explain, should do like this, should not do like this, and which is good, which is bad. It can completely gives the clear picture information. Which one? Normative economics. Should do like this, should not do like this, what is good, what is bad, everything explained by the normative economics. And also it can give a suggestion. But positive economics cannot give any suggestion, cannot give any value judgment. It can explains only what happened, like cause and effects about the economic variables, cause and effects about the economic variables. So here normative economics tries to find solutions to the economic problems like poverty, unemployment, lack of science and technology, like population explosion. Like for these problems it tries to find solutions. Which one? Normative economics. But positive economics cannot find any solution, cannot give any suggestion. Okay, cannot give any suggestion, cannot give any like remedies also. Which one? Positive. But normative economics tries to find solutions. Normative economics tries to find solutions to the economic problems. So this is normative economics. According to few economists, economics is positive economics. Yes, According to few economics, economics is normative economics. Yes, that is also right. So positive economics means can give only explanation. Like explanation means what was, what is, causes, effects, but it does not give any, it cannot give any suggestions or remedies or solutions. Which one? Positive economics. What happened? What is going, like present situation. What like cause, effects. What was, what is. How it is working. It can explain only how it is working. But normative economics, how the basic functions should be performed, should do like this only, should not do like this only, go this way only, use this type of technique only, produce this type of goods and services only, like invest this much amount only, okay, produce this type of goods only. Like this also it can give the suggestion and give the orders. Which one? Normative economics. Normative economics describes what should be done and what should not be done, what is good and what is bad for human beings. So normative economics tries to find solutions to the economic problems, but positive economics cannot give any solutions or suggestions or remedies for any economic problems. So positive economics do not pass any valued judgment. Normative economic statements pronounce valued judgment. Okay, so positive economics, even positive economics also and normative economics also. Okay, there is no consider like economics only positive, and it's not possible to consider only normative, but economics is both. Economics even positive and also normative. So simple, positive economics and normative economics. Positive economics is a descriptive study, normative economics is a prescriptive study. Positive economics is descriptive. Descriptive means like what is, what we are looks, that is only we have to understand. That's it. What happened, what present situation, what was, what is. But normative economics prescriptive, should do like this only, should do like this, like prescription. That is descriptive study, prescriptive study. So this is differences between positive and normative economics. According to few economists, economics is a positive or like normative. So finally we can conclude that economics is both, that is economics is a positive and also normative economics. Positive explains causes and effects, what was, what is. Normative explains what ought to be, should do like this, how the basic functions should be performed. But positive economics explains only how the economy performs, but here normative, how the basic functions should be performed, it can give the suggestions. So normative economics describes what should be done and what should not be done, but positive economics cannot give any suggestions or remedies or like solutions. Which one? Positive economics. But normative economics can give the suggestions. Okay, up to this positive and normative economics.